Oh boy, something truly terrible happened. And this terrible thing being the fact that I already recorded a video which was nearly 15 minutes long. But apparently I did not save the file, apparently I turned off my computer or something like that happened and the file just was not saved. So let me just do it again, okay? And another funny thing is that I had a plan for the video, and since I already recorded it yesterday, I deleted the docs document as well. Now I have nothing, only the plan that it still remains in my memory, so I'll go according to what I have in my memory. Luckily it's not too hard, but it's a bit embarrassing. 15 minutes of cringe, you lost it. There were 15 minutes of cringe straight from my deranged mind, so he lost it. But I'll make my best attempt to replicate it as accurate as possible, I should say. So yeah, of course, the first thing I would like to say is that season 2 is absolutely, no questions about it, to me at least, much better than season 1. I mean, the writing is way better, the characters have way more room to breathe, and the storylines seem to develop way more organically. They are not rushed. I understand why season 1 was rushed as hell, because no pun intended. But I'm gonna say as hell a lot because it sounds really good in this context, in context of the show. So I understand that the first season had limitations, had runtime constraints, 8 episodes, and they had to come to a certain point after just 8 episodes, and this is why most storylines were very rushed to get to this specific point. A specific point being the battle between heaven and hell, although some people argue that the Charlie going to heaven and the truth, becoming known about the extermination, becoming known to Emily, it should have been the point where season 1 ends, but season 1 ends with a battle, which was a very good episode, but yeah, it was rushed. Again, season 2 is way more organic. It feels like the writers are not rushing anything. They finally have creative freedom to explore the world, to explore the characters within this world better. Of course, it's not perfect. Of course, this idea that Hazbin Hotel is a show is more of a slice of life show, exploring how sinners are being redeemed, what they do. This idea, this original concept, is still not happening. We still don't see what sinners even do in the hotel. There are apparently clients in this hotel that we see, unlike in season 1 where there were none, but we don't see what they do, how they are redeemed, and it really looks like they're just there for free accommodation. I mean, if I were a sinner in hell, I'd totally check into the hotel just for free nice accommodation. I mean, I'm really surprised there are no more demons, no more sinners in Charlie's hotel, because she doesn't kick anyone out. You can pretty much come, you can pretty much live there for free in a very nice place with a free bar where you can get absolutely drunk and pass out or whatever. I don't know. Can you? Yeah, you probably still can pass out even if you're dead. So, but regarding the plot, I think I often underestimate the writers and Viv Pop specifically. I thought that episode 5 was a bit too obvious, too on the nose, a bit unsubtle. Like, for example, Vox saying phrases like make hell great again, which is obviously reference to the phrase make America great again, and I don't even need to explain to you what that thing means. Everyone knows what MAGA is, and Vox pronouncing this phrase Haga, no, make hell great, MHGA, it doesn't sound pleasant, unlike MAGA. So, and Vox calling himself a viewer, Yes, I did not realize that the word he meant was Furor, not, Führer as in leader or chieftain in German. Not that, but it sounds precise. But the word is Führer as if Furor. Sounds exactly like Führer as in, as I said, chieftain or leader in German. So it's a nice wordplay. I'll give it to the writer. So yes, certainly I underestimated the episode. The nice play with the Latin words, with like populi, which most people did not get. And neither did I just had to Google it. I never studied Latin language, come on. And yeah, it's good, but there is an obvious problem with Vox's plan. I mean, he pretty much declares war on heaven, and the problem is, how is he gonna wage that war? Like, can he even enter heaven? I mean, obviously he cannot. Even Charlie cannot enter heaven. It's like the communication is very restricted between hell and heaven. It's very restricted for safety concerns. I mean, even going to hell from heaven, I mean, not everyone is allowed to do it, and not too often, even though heaven can spy on hell and see what people in hell are doing pretty much all the time. The travel is still restricted, and obviously you need some kind of special permission to go from hell to heaven, and Lucifer somehow got this, permission for Charlie to visit heaven in episode 6, season 1. But she couldn't do it on her own, though she's the princess with a lot of power, presumably, but even she couldn't do it by herself. So how exactly Vox is gonna wage war on heaven? Is he gonna like invade heaven? It has always been the weakest part of his plan. What is his end game? To rule heaven? That seems a bit unlikely. So but we're certainly gonna see what's gonna happen. Now it's a time for something that I am not really a fan of, but it's fan theories. I'm wondering where Cain is. The Abel's brother. The one who slaughters Abel in the Bible, in the Old Testament. So where is he? My theory is that he's some kind of eldritch demon, like he's the first fallen demon or something like that. Or maybe not the first would be Lucifer, but he's probably some overpowered power hunger and power thirsty eldritch demon who I imagine he lives somewhere on earth, not in hell or not in heaven, and he plots his revenge against everyone quietly. And my fan theory is that Lut will try to reach to him, try to make him an ally in order to wage war against hell, in order to wage war against both Charlie and Vox. So that's my theory. And obviously I think the more probable continuation in season 3 is Lut and Sarah become allies. Their worldviews, aligned, because Sarah is very prejudiced. So you could say she's bigoted against sinners. She doesn't like sinners. She doesn't like them at all. She did think that extermination was needed. She obviously wasn't very happy about extermination. She is not a psychopathic maniac like Adam, who was clearly enjoying mass murder. She was not enjoying that, but she really didn't see any other options rather than killing souls in hell, because she thought she was protecting heaven this way, and she is very bigoted against hell. So the most probable scenario is that she and Lut, they just become allies and just some kind of recruit the heavenly militia, like the exterminators again, the army of heaven, in order to wage war against Vox and his mob, his army. So that's the most probable scenario in my opinion. But the one with Cain sounds a bit more exciting and sinister to me, to be honest. So far the show is not for it's probably it's not what people expected in regards of Emily's plotline. I mean, a lot of people expected her to become a fallen angel. A lot of people expected her to accept this redemption, while Sarah is against it. So Emily is trying to help sinners to get into heaven, and Sarah is against that. So eventually, Emily becomes just like Lucifer and falls, and so many fan songs and fan art, but the show just isn't going into that direction. So far, Sarah also accepts redemption, so maybe the fan theories and stuff just inspired the writers not to go into this obvious direction of Emily becoming a fallen angel. Or maybe it's not the case. Maybe this was all planned long ago. Maybe all 4 seasons were pre-planned long ago, and even though the writers probably browse through the internet searching for crazy fan theories, if I were the creator of a popular show, I would have spent hours and hours on forums dedicated to my show, just reading people's thoughts on it. Yeah, but I'm not sure. Maybe it did change, maybe it didn't. So far this season is very good. Each episode is solid 8 out of 10. The only thing that is noticeably weaker in my opinion is music, but it's unfair. I didn't immediately love the season 1 soundtrack. I had to listen to it like 20 times in order to love it, and I'll probably do the same with season 2. So far the only song that I actually loved was Gravity, an episode, one of the best songs across both seasons, so, which cemented Wood as my favorite character in this season specifically. Not ever, my favorite character ever would obviously be Charlie Morningstar, but in this specific season, Wood and her motivation, which makes her the best written character in my opinion. So that was all I wanted to say. I'll be just waiting for for episode 7 and 8. They're probably already out by the time this video is out. So I'll just go, and yeah, thanks for staying with me, and bye.